All right, let's get cracking. 40 West Wrestling, episode number 7. Heavyweight coach Tyreek Nolan here. Joining me is my co host, the head coach, Logan Meister. And also joining us today is assistant coach Jared Costa. How y'all doing today?
Doing well, doing well.
All right.
Pretty solid.
That's good. So, just a little, question just to get us started. What has changed as far as y'all's coaching strategy, as we kind of, wind down for the semester and all the guys kind of have a good feel for what the year will be like, what D3 wrestling is like. What has been the changes to y'all's coaching strategy so far?
Yes, I think overall strategy stays pretty much the same, and we're learning and we're trying to make adjustments kind of as we go. We reflect pretty often. I think probably after every event, we spend a lot of time talking on, what do we do well, what's working, which guys are performing well and why. What are we doing to help them perform well? And then checking out our guys that aren't performing that well. What's going on with them? What can we do better with those guys? Do we have to find different strategies to coach different guys up? Everybody's a little bit different, so maybe the same strategy doesn't work for everybody. So that's kind of something that we're leaning towards, just some more individualized coaching. Everybody can't go in with the same strategy. So I don't know if you got anything else to add on that along with it, Coach, but that's kind of where we're at right now, just adjusting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just going day by day, and 2 months ago we had a whole different looking roster too in terms of weight classes where we thought everyone might be, and guys are shifting weights and moving around and wrestling, and some guys have good weekends and then they have a bad weekend. I'd say right now consistency is probably like the biggest thing we're looking for. Been preaching that every day. Right now we're at the end of the semester, so we can finally take some time to like really relax in the room in terms of the high intensity. We got to go, be in shape. We can kind of focus more on more strategy and technique and one-on-one type of stuff over the next couple weeks, and then get ready for Citrus Open right after Christmas.
Right. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into the results, because obviously, since Thanksgiving break, we really haven't slowed down at all.
Hitting the mats pretty hard.
Yeah. All right. So let's go back a couple weeks ago. Let's start with the Star City Duels.
Yeah. So great event. Excited to get up there, and we had some tough competition right away. Started off wrestling the Ozarks, University of Ozarks. They traveled all the way up from Arkansas. Hopefully I got that correct.
Yeah, it's Arkansas.
Arkansas, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they were actually ranked 24th in the country in the NWCA poll, and we were able to get a nice win over them. Starting off at 25, just had a tough bout. Their 25-pounder ranking, he's ranked top 5 in the country. JD wrestled tough, really good in scrambles. No easy points for that guy. Levi walked away with the fall at 33. Funk had a tough one. Got pinned. And Tyler as well at 49 gave up a fall just in a, if I remember correctly, it was like over-under position. Got us digging underhooks, got us in a bad spot, and threw us. Weren't comfortable there, so working on making adjustments in our over-under positions. Senior Christian Height at 157 got us back with a fall. Elijah Martin followed up with the decision at 165. Gave up a decision at 74. Cole was wrestling tough. Just some positional mistakes that we'll fix. Sam Slade picked up a decision at 84. Holmesy with the fall. And then Ray Dixon with the major decision at heavyweights. We were able to walk away with the win over Ozarks, 28-19. Pretty exciting way to start off the day, putting ourselves in kind of that top 25 range.
Right.
I know we're hunting to be in that top 25, and we got to keep knocking off those top teams.
Yeah.
So after that match, we went over to the Southern Virginia duel. That's a conference opponent for us, regional opponent for us. Did well against them. Final score is 38-15. So they've got some tough guys. 65, real tough. Heavyweight's a monster. He's all of 285.
Yeah.
So, and definitely we just need to make some adjustments, better strategy for us on that guy. Build a little bit different than the other heavyweights. But tough team, love their sportsmanship. Coaches always approaches a competition with a good attitude. They compete hard. No bad blood with them. a good battle.
Yeah.
Then we wrestled the Apprentice School, and they're a club team, but they've always had tough guys.
Yeah.
You know, they're the NWCA club, so they wrestle with Liberty and in that field of championships. But because of the way their school's set up, you know, they do get some good guys. They have some attractive things to offer at their school. So they have tough wrestlers. We walked away with a 32-21 victory over Apprentice School. And we got the chance to get some other guys in the lineup. We had Trent Proctor step in at 33, get him a match, and he lost in overtime, actually due to the riding time.
Mm-hmm.
So for a 25-pounder, we got to bump up, get in the lineup, and have a really tough battle. And just he wrestled tough. He wrestled all the way to the last second. And, he was losing right there at the end of the match, probably about a 4-point deficit on bottom, and fought out of, man, if I remember right, it was like a leg.
Yeah, he's like in a crab ride position, or stepped him over, got some back points, forced overtime, and I really think if it wasn't for blood time, he probably would have won in overtime.
Yeah.
It just was a really choppy overtime match. Got stopped probably like 4 or 5 times, and the other kid was getting tired, and he felt Trent on him.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just kind of some unfortunate stuff, and double overtime, he got lost by like 4 or 5 seconds, which is kind of expected when you're giving up 8 or 9 pounds versus an opponent. But it was really
not even that. You know, just being a freshman, it's kind of like, you know, you're trying to grasp a hold of the whole entire college experience, and then it's like, okay, I got to remember riding time, you know, because, I mean, the transition from high school to college, I'll definitely say riding time was the last thing that I had really, you know, learned, because it's like, you know, when you're out there in a match, obviously, you know, heavyweight is a lot different from 125. You know, if you're getting ridden out at heavyweight, then, you know, there's probably a reason why.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, My thing is just, you know, you can't really teach guys necessarily, like, you know, to focus on the riding time. It's more of one of those things. It's like, okay, if you want to get out, you can get out, and especially at this level, it almost has to, like, it has to mess with you, you know, when you're on bottom, and it's like, okay, I'm not focusing on the actual time. I'm focusing on this riding time now. Yeah. You know, like, it doesn't matter how much time is left in the period. I need to focus on, you know, getting out before this guy gets a minute on me. So I don't know. I feel like as a freshman, it could just be more mental, you know. And he's in double overtime, obviously. So you're not really thinking about that riding time. You know, you're just thinking about getting a takedown. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, and that's the thing is Trent. He progresses with every match. That's one of those guys that I love watching wrestle. Yeah. You know, but I don't know. Just small adjustments.
Yeah, and with the riding time, you know, every second matters.
Yeah.
Every second matters. So. You know, wrestled tough, and what I liked about Trent, what I liked about our team as a whole, something that we're getting better at, is wrestling until the very last second.
Yeah. Giving
ourselves chances to win. We saw that this past weekend too. So just proud of him getting after it, put himself in a position to win. Ultimately, didn't get it done, but just proud of his effort out there. So good match again against the Apprentice School. And then we went up to our last duel there was against Roanoke. We lost a tough battle, 25-16. We actually got Trent in for that match as well at 25. Their 25-pounder is pretty tough, and I think Trent wrestled well, only gave up a decision. Levi Engelman walked away with a fall. Funk had given up a tight major decision, and proud of him for that match because he listened to our coaching. Mm-hmm. There was a situation where I think it was third period, we chose top for him, and maybe a different situation, we might have chose bottom and tried to get out and get a 1. We were really trying not to give up the major decision, and trying to get a riding time point and ride him out, hold him down. And Funk did a good job, but I think at the end of the period ended up giving up an escape. Mm-hmm. So, but proud of him for wrestling and listening to coaching. Tyler Ramirez gave up a fall at the 149-pound weight class. Just thought that he wasn't out there ready to go right mm-hmm. away. I think we're better than a fall from that kid. I think that should be a much tighter match, and you know that was one of the toss-up matches that we had going in that we really would have needed to win for the duel, because we split with them 4 and 6. We won 4, they won 6. Mm-hmm. So we turn over one of those splits and we don't give up bonus points somewhere. It's a different story.
Right.
Slate picked up a decision 84. Holmesy major decision at 97. And that was just kind of a frustrating one. It didn't seem like the guy wanted to wrestle very much. It was just real reserved. just trying to not give up bonus points. And you can tell when guys wrestle like that to not give up bonus points. So, but Braden did a good job. He still found a way to get the major. And then Ray, dominant over the heavyweight. That's not the first time we've seen him, not the last. I think that's going to keep going our way.
Yeah.
Ray's just starting to really believe in his offense and open up.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good match for him to just get another. It's hard to beat people multiple times.
Yeah.
So it's good for the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And then while we were at the Star City Duel, so Coach Casa had taken the ladies up to Liberty University where we had a try meet with some teams up there. So like Coach Casa kind of talked about their performance, just kind of went up there.
Yeah, so got an opportunity to get the girls some mat time. We had 2 dual meets. One was against Liberty, the second one was against
St.
St. Andrews.
Yeah.
And unfortunately our roster size is only at 3 right now, so the other teams were ready to work with us and made it more enjoyable experience for the girls. We had dual meet where it was just the 2 weight classes that we had girls actually in. They entered their 2 girls, so both teams actually had a chance to win the dual meet, which I thought was pretty fun because coming into the season didn't think we actually had a chance to win any dual meets because 4, 5, and 7 weight classes right off the top.
Yeah, there's just
You're
no
probably
way.
not going to win, but
Mhm.
these other schools actually giving us a fighting chance was kind of awesome. First match, 191 was the first weight class. Gabby was wrestling, and she unfortunately got injured, which put her out for the rest of the day. So she only got 1 match on the day, which very unfortunate because we could have got a lot of mat time. But I think she learned something from it because she learned the position of why she got hurt, why things happened the way they did, and we're making adjustments off of that match alone. So that was kind of a good learning experience. Then we had Ryan also at 191 that day, and she wrestled 5 times. None of them went her way, but she showed a lot of fight and grit. I thought it was only her 2nd competition ever in her life wrestling. Her first competition she only got 2 matches, so coming into the day she had 2 matches ever, and I could definitely see the improvement. Just the hand fighting alone was better. She wasn't letting girls like push her all over the mat like she was in the first tournament. She knew how to control the center more. Still need to work on getting to her offense a little bit, but that's coming. She's definitely getting the defense down and learning how to not just get bullied around. She's definitely better than I've ever seen most people like a month into their wrestling career.
Yeah, starting to feel like when I'm watching her, in film, starting to feel like she's a little more confident that she knows what she's doing when she's out there, which is nice to see. And just coaching Ryan's fun because everything's new for her.
Yeah.
So it's exciting, and she's got a great mindset coming in, being a new wrestler in college. It's not easy.
Well, it's a good thing that she doesn't wrestle, so reserved, because you get a lot of, newcomers, and it's just like, you throw them out there and it's just like deer in headlights.
Yeah.
It's like very rarely that you get somebody who's going to go out there and it's like, hey, I know that you are probably more experienced than me, but I know how to do this. I know how to do everything that you know how to. So, let's go to war.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love to see it.
I think that starts in practice too with her partner Gabby, because Gabby doesn't let her. She doesn't feel bad for her in a sense that it's her first year. This is college wrestling, so she shouldn't. And she's also a great partner too because she will slow it down, and she's not a bully. She's not gonna beat her up and make her want to quit because Gabby's been wrestling for a long time, so she could easily just throw her on the mat and make her want to quit. But she sits there and works with her, and then when live comes, she beats her up a little bit, but she's also teaching her at the same time. And I think that's translated to the mat because Ryan's tougher when it comes to the face of competition because those girls they don't know that it's her first year either, so those girls are going to go out there trying to rip her head off. But I think she's actually prepared more than like say a high school freshman who's learning for the first time, because those kids are going through other freshmen and they wrestle some JV against other first year kids where she's getting thrown right into the wolves, which is just a awesome thing to see her accept that and embrace it. She could easily not even want to compete at all, and she's eager to get out there and wants it and doesn't care that she loses. She just wants to keep getting better.
Yeah. It's fun to see.
It's refreshing. And then our third girl wrestler was Katrina. She went 3-2 on the day. She fought pretty well. I thought one of her losses, she probably could have won the match. She was controlling it for the most part, and then she just kind of got caught up in a bad situation and got pinned, which was unfortunate. But her 3 wins were really awesome. She got 3 tech falls. 2 of them were just was a lot better than her opponent, but I thought her last match of the day was probably the best one, and something that I'd love to see just as a Ferrum wrestler, men or woman. She fought the whole match, and she hit a wall at about the 3-minute mark, right around the midpoint of the match. She gave up a takedown right before the break, and I could see her starting to give up on herself a little bit. She had the lead 5-4. She came over to the side and she took the coaching, and I just told her that she was about to break the girl. She just got 1 takedown. Like, she was going to break the match open and that girl was going to quit. And it happened exactly like that. She came out, she got in a good stance, she hand fought, she stopped 1 shot, countered, got a takedown, and then just racked up the points and got her own tech fall, which was just really awesome to see, because that's something we preach all the time, is wrestling the whole match, believing in yourself, and just believing in your training that you're in better shape. You know, we might only have 3 girls in there, but like Katrina's drilling with Coach Meister every day, or she's drilling with our 25-pounder JD, or Trent Proctor's coming in, or Mason Rogers is coming in with her. So she's probably got the best situation of any female wrestler across the board in the country.
Yeah.
She's got not only her teammates and the coaches, but she's got the men wrestlers coming in to drill with her, which is just great to see both teams supporting each other.
Right.
Yeah, and I like the being able to push through those walls. You never know how close you are to breaking somebody, and it goes both ways. So if you can battle through that sticking point where you feel like, I'm getting tired, like, my break here, like you kind of get that feeling, and being able to push through it is just a great sign, because like Katrina, she found a way to push through it, got the takedown, and the other girl broke.
Yeah.
Just great, on both sides we're trying to preach that, so just exciting to see.
Yeah, you gotta know how to finish the match.
Yep.
That's really all it is.
Yep.
All right, so after the Star City duels, next day there was the Star City Classic.
Yep.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so we had it's an open tournament that we could enter our backups in, guys that didn't wrestle much in the first day in the duels, get an opportunity to send those guys and get some matches. We entered 9 wrestlers in that, and we walked away with, we got 4 placers that day. Pretty exciting for us. We had Trent Proctor in at 125, went 2-2 with a fall, came out with 6th place. And the way these brackets are set up, and the way I think a lot of the opens now are, you lose before the semis, you can only wrestle back to 5th. So you didn't get the opportunity to wrestle back for 3rd, but just wrestled really tough, and excited for that guy. He's got a great attitude, high energy. Then we had Mason Rogers in at 133, 2-2 with a pin, walking away with a 7th place finish. So for both of those guys, that was the first college tournament that they placed in. Very exciting to get that knocked out first couple months of freshman year.
And for Mason, that was just really impressive to see, because for those at home that don't know maybe Mason's background, but in high school he wasn't really sought after. He wasn't a guy people knew the name of. He wasn't placing at the state tournament. He wasn't a household name, and just coming in here, he's had a great attitude since the first practice. He works hard, he wins almost every run. In the weight room, he's an animal. In the practice room, he's asking coach to go almost every day, asking to do extra sessions, coming in to work with the women. Like, to see him place at a college tournament a month into the season is just incredible.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely boosted his confidence too, and just seeing how he came off the mat, and just seeing everybody in his corner cheering for him. I feel like that definitely boosted his confidence.
Yeah, it's nice to see. Everybody's excited for him because they notice that. They see him working really hard, and they know. Everybody knows that he wasn't like 3-time state champ coming out of high school. But when he came here, he was willing to do all that extra work that maybe 3-time state champs weren't ready to do. Right? And he's making passes on those guys. So he's placing at tournaments that those kind of guys aren't placing at tournaments at, because of the work that he's putting in now. That's exciting for him, and especially just to get that so early in your freshman year. A lot of guys, doesn't happen until later in their career, so excited for him. great things to expect from him in the future at 133. And then 41, we had John Ward, second event in this year. Still just got to work on that gas tank some. He's got a lot of ability.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very fast. He can explode off the bottom in a split second. We're just trying to work on getting his offense going and cardio, just holding a good position for the whole match.
Mm-hmm.
He's just getting beat in the third period.
Yeah.
Charles wrestled really tough at 157. I remember he lost a very close one. He was winning, and then I think one of you guys were in the corner and got to actually see the match. I didn't get to see it, but just kind of lost the position at the end, right?
Yeah, he was dominating the kid. He was up, probably got 4 or 5 takedowns on the kid, and the kid didn't even come close to scoring, and then just one bad flurry with like 20 seconds left, and it's just wrestling sometimes happens, you know.
Yeah.
And it was really frustrating to watch though, because if you watch the match for even 20 seconds, 30 seconds, you would have known who the better guy was.
Right. Yeah.
It was the guy shot on his leg and went over top, right, in that kind of a funk position.
Yeah, it was just the offensive fall. I don't even think the kid scored a takedown. I think it was a neutral pin, which happens sometimes, but it's just frustrating.
It happens.
Then we had Cole and Jay there at 65, had a tough day. I was still just working on getting better at wrestling, adjusting the weight class for both of those guys, and we're just getting better. Lots of effort from them though, so nothing to complain about. They're out there fighting and trying to win. We're just gotta fix some technical stuff with those guys. And then heavyweight crew, we did a great job at heavyweight. Trent Ray, 1 and 2 on the day. Tough wrestler. He's coming into his own, starting to open up his offense a little bit. Once we get his offense going underway, I think he'll be a real problem at heavyweight.
Right.
He's got a great build, tall, and weighing about 260. You know, he's a solid dude. So I'm excited for him and his future. And he's only a freshman, so it's only up from here.
Right. He has time.
Yeah, he's got time to get better. So and then we had George Mitchell walked away with a 3rd place finish at the Open. That was awesome to see, and he's starting to open up his offense, believing in his offense, hitting his knee, taking a lot of shots.
Yeah.
And man, he was scoring a lot of points. Very exciting to see for George.
Yeah. It's always amazing, I feel like, when a heavyweight can put 2 moves together. You know, and it's just like continuous, you know, throughout the entire tournament. It's not just, oh, okay, I got this, you know, kind of easy guy, so I'm gonna see if this will work. You know, it's with everybody that you're wrestling. And George, he definitely showed that at Star City.
Yeah, starting to figure out that chain wrestling a little bit.
Yep.
Just being like more free, just letting himself go and attack us.
Yeah.
He can move, man. It's hard for those big guys to keep up with his motion.
Oh yeah.
Then we had Ethan Fregoso walk away with the 2nd place finish. He was a finalist for us at heavyweight. Really impressed with him because he's a lighter heavyweight. He's actually progressing down to 97. And I don't mind telling people that because they're going to see him anyway in the tournament here when it comes up. So no secret there, but he's progressing down, and everybody can tell that he's a lighter heavyweight. I mean, he weighs in at I think at this tournament he weighed in at like 214 or something. So giving up some weight and just being smart with his wrestling, not putting himself in bad positions underneath guys, and finding ways to win. So you got to be smart when you're giving up 50 pounds to somebody, because getting underneath of a shot is going to be, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's going to be close to impossible with 285 on your back. And that was kind of what got us in the finals. We wrestled a tough guy from Liberty who was every bit of 285 and just got underneath of him.
Yeah.
You know, no way to get out.
Ethan's, he impresses me too, because he's every wrestler's dream. Every wrestler always says, I can wrestle heavyweight.
Yeah.
You know, I can wrestle heavyweight. If I wrestled heavyweight, I'd be a national champion. But then to see, like, then guys go out there and they wrestle heavyweights and they get destroyed because they have no idea what it's like to actually wrestle heavyweight when you actually get a 285-pound man wrestling with you. It's a lot different, you know. But to see him, he was an 84-pounder when he came in, and now he's wrestling heavyweight, and he's holding his own. You know, the only guys he's really having trouble with are those all 285 guys. When he wrestles those 260, 265 guys, he's right in every match, which is really impressive to see.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he does when he goes down to 97.
All right. So,
sorry, I wanted to just say something else about Ethan. Just great motion, good hand fight, good chain wrestling, and I'm just excited to see him at a weight class where he's going to be one of the stronger guys in the weight. It'll be exciting for him.
Well, I feel like Ethan, he doesn't lack in strength. I'll definitely say that just from, you know, wrestling with him in practice. it really is just trying to wrestle someone who's the full 285, you know, and it's like you have every angle that you get, it has to be the right angle.
Yeah.
You know, if you cut, you got to cut right. You got to do everything just right.
It's a lot of effort. Everything's like more effort.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everything's more effort. Just a simple, even a stand up on bottom.
Right.
Takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
And the little strategy of knowing that every little burst of energy that you go out adds up over the time. Like at 65, 57, when we were wrestling, you know, like we're in really good shape, yeah, but when we get into a flurry, it's just kind of like that guy got tired, we got tired. At heavyweight, if you shoot under a guy and he puts all his weight on you, you got way more tired than the dude who sprawled. You know, at the middleweights, both guys are kind of working and you're both getting equally tired. At heavyweight, like if you pick the wrong moment to score, you're in trouble.
The entire health bar goes down.
Yeah.
Like lose a heart.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and go into this past weekend, George Mason Patriot Open. So
yeah, this was a great opportunity for us to get up and wrestle some Division I competition.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the benefits of this is, you know, these matches, these losses don't count for seeding purposes against Division III competition. Chance for us to let it fly, no pressure. It's not no pressure on any one of our guys, even our best guys. On paper, probably pick to lose every match on paper, which I love. You know, setting them up for that underdog setting, and I think it was a good opportunity for them to go out and just get after it.
Just wrestle.
Get after it. No pressure and no shame in it, and taking a loss here and pushing ourselves. We're trying to test ourselves against the best. Now, if we can step up and get wins over these Division I guys, it means we're doing something right.
Yeah.
And that'll prepare us for the tough competition we see Division III towards the end of the year, postseason. Our guys will be ready because we saw some of the toughest competition I think we'll see all year at the George Mason Open. I think a couple of the exciting things for me were to see a few guys close the gap. So we had wrestled in, we took a group up to the East Stroudsburg Open, which is a tough tournament, and the Southeast Open, where we got some Division I looks as well. And then a month later, we're at the Patriot Open, and we had Hayden Funk close the gap, a guy that had pinned him at the ESU Open.
Mm-hmm.
He lost a tight decision match, which, you know, he was in it, very, very winnable match for him. Awesome to see him close that gap.
Yeah.
And then we had Tyler Ramirez, who had lost to a Davidson wrestler at the Southeast Open, and he avenged that. I think he lost in overtime. He avenged that loss, won a decision at the George Mason. So great to see. It means we're doing something right in our practice room.
Yeah.
Right. We're training at a high level, and you know, with wrestling, there's not a whole lot of secrets anymore on what it takes to be good at it.
Right.
And, you know, and we've had, my high school coach was an All-American Division I, college coach was an All-American Division I, and they've kind of taught us those systems and the training schedule, what to expect. You know, we train probably just as hard as these guys, but a very similar schedule as those Division I guys. So, and I think that's paying off. I think guys are believing in that, and then they see. You know, we had a few standouts. I think we had 2 standouts, in my opinion, on the day yesterday, or on Sunday. That was Ray Dixon at heavyweight, the 4-2 record on the day. It was 1 round away from placing at one of the bigger brackets there at the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Very exciting for him. 4 wins over some Division I opponents, and just really opened up, you know, believing in his offense, taking a lot of attempts, which we're glad to see.
Right, yeah.
Because when he shoots, he's very high percentage, and just dominated some guys. And had a big first confidence too, to know that he can go out there and do that to Division I opponents.
I think he wrestled the tough guy from Bucknell and put up like 6 takedowns on him, which was, I know the guys were joking on it. We were just in here watching film, and they were saying it might be the most takedowns he's gotten collectively throughout the whole season in one match. But it might be, honestly, but just watching him go out there and not only score 6 takedowns on any opponent, but to do it against a D1 guy when he easily could have gotten his first takedown and said, like, all right, 3-2 heavyweight match, I'm going to coast it out. But he said, no, I think the final was 13-5.
Yeah,
so,
and every takedown was different.
Yeah,
every takedown was different.
Slide by, he had a
Arm drag.
high crotch, arm drag.
Hit a double.
One of them, he had a high C to a double, crackdown, didn't work, ran his feet, which you never see that at heavyweight.
Mhm.
That's like a 25 move, if anything. So that was just really exciting to see Ray actually open up for once.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Starting
mean,
to
there's a
believe.
reason why I say I'm the heavyweight coach, you know?
Yes, sir.
I'm not trying to say that's, a pat on my back, but.
Hey, no, seriously though, it helps, man, having you in the room, wrestling, pushing him every day, and
Yeah.
it's making a difference. He's really starting to believe in that offense.
Well, I feel like it's more mental, with Ray. It's more of just like you have to give him time to, get in the right mindset, and yeah, the losses that he does have on the season, those aren't just losses where it's like, okay, well, this is completely out of reach, and that's the one thing that I do love about Ray. It's just every single tournament, every duel, it doesn't matter. He's adjusted something, he's making some type of adjustment. If you get put in a weird situation and, you don't know what to do, off the fly, okay, I can accept that. Not you going out there and just, laying an egg. And I love the fact that Ray, he'll go out there and he'll just leave it all on the mat. That's really all that it is. And I've been telling him here lately, you have to take it personal. Obviously, you don't know this guy. You don't have any reason to personally hate him,
Yeah.
but you have to take beating him personal. You have to take every single shot that you take personal. Like you shouldn't shoot a wild shot and, oh, well, the ref sees I'm not stalling because, at heavyweight, if you take one shot, then, you might be good for the rest of the period. Depending on what the
slap.
yeah, just slap his legs a couple minutes.
And I'll give Ray credit too, because you're not nice to Ray in the practice room.
Right.
You come in and you demand hard work
Yeah,
across the board, and you call him out after a match, and you call him out during practice, before practice, after practice, before meets, after meets, on the bus, doesn't matter. And for him to just take that and like come in eager to work out with you is just like props to him for that, because he, by this point in the season, could have gone the other way. Could have been, why is coach always on me? This is we have 3 other heavyweights. Why is he not yelling at it? And it's not that you're not on those guys too, but he definitely takes a little extra sometimes because he's just he needs it. He needs it, and you do work out with him.
Yeah.
So, but he takes it nice, and he's not one of those guys who's just like, man, coach is picking on me.
Yeah. Well, not even that, but even the moves that he practiced in the wrestling room, occasionally you'll hear me telling him, focus on what you're actually doing. Because when he starts getting tired, he'll start resorting back to, old high school stuff.
Going through the motions.
Yeah, And the one thing that I loved about even the Bucknell match was every shot that he took on that guy was a shot that I've seen in the practice room. It wasn't like he went out there and, I didn't even know that you could do this move, or, he just went out there and laid an egg. He went out there.
A shot, like he took the shot with some purpose.
Yeah, every single shot. And I love that.
That's awesome. So excited for him. I think this event was huge, and this was kind of the reason for the event. No pressure. We get guys in there, pick up some wins, and it's huge for the confidence. And then we had, I think the highlight of the day was Braden Holmesy at 197, walked away with a 4th place finish.
Yeah.
Huge for him, placing at a Division I tournament. And he deserves it. He puts in the work. He trains with some Division I guys in his area in the summer. So just starting to believe in himself and knowing that he is doing what it takes to compete and battle with those guys. And I think it's clear to see that he's going to be one of the best guys in the country at 197.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, and even with that, Braden's gas tank plus the fact that he keeps coming at you. You can take a million shots on him. Just know as soon as you get done, he's going to start coming right back at you, And, I mean, I don't know. I love that about Braden.
And I really think yesterday, maybe a different draw, probably sees himself in the finals. Semifinals ran into a tough guy from UPenn, and I think that guy tech-falled the guy in the finals.
Yeah,
so can't even be upset about that one. And the one he wrestled for 3rd place was just, guy got a couple good takedowns on him, and Braden hit a sweet elevator kickover with about 2 seconds left in the match, and if there was 5 seconds, he would have gotten at minimum 6 points, but maybe even a fall, and he ended up losing by 4. So he's right there with that guy and the rest of the tournament, and just great things for Braden coming forward here.
Right.
Yeah, picking up win over guys from Ryder and the Wolfpack RTC at NC State, and that close loss at the end was a Campbell guy, and winnable matches. Great for his confidence, and Yeah, he's just a real offensive wrestler. There's no secret. I'm not hiding that. Everybody, you watch Braden wrestle, you're like, man, the dude's going to take a ton of shots. He will. He's going to keep doing that always. That's his style. And what I love about Braden is he never gets discouraged. If he finds himself in a bad spot, somebody gets a takedown on him, he's right back to his feet right away, and focus on finding his next points.
Right.
So I think that's going to pay off for him.
The biggest thing for me with Braden this weekend was something that he actually said off the mat to you was, I don't know if you remember him saying this, but he said, I've never felt more confident in my life on the wrestling mat, which is, that was coming off a loss too, I think.
Yeah.
And that just speaks for who he is as a person. He just lost a tough match and he said, I'm never more confident in myself as a wrestler, which, how often do you hear that after a guy just lost a match?
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, here's my thing is, if you separate wins and losses, just focus on performance. Everything this past weekend was just focus on your performance. These aren't guys who you're going to see throughout the season, so if you're ever going to have a time to where you don't focus on your wins and losses, because that's probably like the only thing in wrestling that you don't control is your wins and losses, just focus on your performance. If you perform well, you're probably going to do well. And I feel like Braden, even when he did lose, he didn't sit around and harp on it like, oh, I should have beat this guy, and okay, this is a really advanced tournament, I need to be ready for the next match. And even if it was the Cougar Open or a D3 tournament, you kind of have to still have that mindset, but he probably would have taken it more personal if it were somebody at the D3 level. But just seeing how with him and Ray, the whole team overall, but how they adjusted after or in between each match, and they didn't let the discouragement or whatever that's supposed to happen, they didn't let that keep them from going out there and competing. Because Braden, he had a choice. He had a choice after he had lost to the guy from Penn. I mean, he could have just been like, all right, well, I'm not going to, win the tournament. I can just, coast through it now.
Yeah.
Still went out there, battled, and, he was, our last match of the day, so.
Yeah, and I think actually to touch on that first question you asked at the start of the podcast, anything that's changing our coaching strategy, and I think we started to get into this year, and that's something that I think that has changed in our strategy, just as coaches and as a program, is focusing on that performance, the effort, and less on the wins and losses. It wasn't always that way. It was more of a kind of results driven.
Yeah.
If you're winning, then if you're losing, then you suck. It's kind of, look, we can see it on paper. Look at your record. But now it's more of, how's your effort? How's your attitude out there? When you walk off the mat, are you proud of yourself? And if you're not, why? What did you do wrong? What do we need to do to? So you walk off the mat, you're proud. You can just look back and reflect with a different mindset. You're going to look back and reflect in a more of an objective way.
Little goals.
Yeah, working on those little goals, and hey, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? And kind of focusing on just like your body, your positioning, and not like making it personal where like, oh, I lost this match, that means I'm bad at wrestling.
Yeah.
Like you lost the match because your body was in the wrong position. We fix what position your body is in, you win the match. So if you can walk off the mat, head up, proud of the effort you gave, we're going to be in a much better place to make the adjustments we need to improve going forward. So
and that's really hard as a wrestler to do.
Not easy.
It's not, because we train so hard, and like, let's be honest, we're not the only team training hard. All these other guys are, and when it's you out there, you're wrestling another human who's trying to take what you work for, and it's one-on-one. And when you lose, it's really hard to look yourself in the mirror after that and be like, how did that guy beat me? I do this every day. I put all these time in. I think our guys are really embracing that motto too of, like, not getting too high on our wins, not getting too low on our lows, just like everyone's seeing the big picture at the end of the tunnel of like, we're working towards conference, we're working towards regionals, we're working towards nationals. So, you can be 0-30 at the regional tournament, win.
Right.
You can be 30-0 and go 0-2. So like, if you're not accepting those little milestones along the way, those little goals, and looking objectively at every match, you're never gonna, at the end of the day, you're gonna lose, because you're not gonna be mentally prepared like that guy who took all those losses throughout the year and like
learn from it.
really dug deep.
Definitely.
That's something that Tyler said after the tournament. It's just like every time you lose, there's something to learn from.
Yeah.
Just kind of having that mindset is very helpful for us. And yeah, like Coach said, it's not easy. We bust our asses in that wrestling room, no doubt about it. And I've been there too. Especially when you're getting in a slump. Some of our guys are in a little bit of a slump. We're working really hard and they're not getting the results they want out there. So focusing on our little goals is going to help us build confidence, help us dig out of those holes. And what are we doing that's working? Let's maximize on that and not beating ourselves down or not performing well. Just trying to problem solve.
Yeah.
Figure out what we need to do to
I do think
our best.
I do think a lot of the guys are starting to realize, though, there obviously are no favorites, but coming into college, a lot of people are thinking, oh, well, coach is going to show favoritism to, if not the seniors, then the guy who's doing the best on the team,
Right.
And it's kind of like, it doesn't really matter. How did you perform? I don't care what you've been labeled as, what you've been deemed as, the best guy on the team. You can't really prove that. How are you performing in this tournament? How is your sleep? How is your, attitude going into it? Because you can have a terrible attitude, go out there and pin everybody, and I still don't want to talk to you after the tournament because how you've been acting the entire day.
Right.
And I've seen it so many times with just the best wrestlers on different teams, who they'll come in and they might be going through relationship stuff or family issues, and obviously don't take that lightly, but you're there for a reason. You're there for a purpose. And when you go out there and you just perform, like I said, you can't control wins and losses. It's a little bit easier to win based off how you perform. However, you don't control the end of the match. But a lot of our guys, they're starting to realize that there really is no favoritism. It's, if I go out there and compete hard, then coach is going to be happy with me. My teammates are going to be happy with me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be happy with myself, And I love that aura with the entire team, and I'm kind of starting to see that, especially out of, you said Braden had the one comment after his match, seeing the leader step up and saying stuff like that, and after a loss too, you're expecting him to go to the back, throw his headgear, pout and do all this other stuff, and it's like when you can, go through that, when you can lose a match, and that, okay, the entire team is still behind you, and you don't let that break your confidence, break your composure, anything at all throughout the entire tournament. Because we was there for a long time. It was a long day. So obviously by the time Braden's semifinals match came around, it's like people are starting to feel everything from all their matches. It's kind of like this is where everybody's starting to grind. So obviously you're starting to take it a little bit more personal, match by match. After that semifinals match, he had a choice, and he chose to keep his composure. He knew that he went out there, and obviously he didn't have the results that he wanted, but he was ready.
Yeah. Just got beat.
Yeah.
That happens.
That's just great for our freshmen to see too.
Yeah.
You look at that guy and senior leader just took a loss. He's right back, ready to go for that third place match. That our freshmen are sitting there, Matt's side, and they're seeing
Watching,
that, and they're saying, all right,
Yeah.
that's gonna be me. Like that has to be me. That's what it's gonna take for me to stop being here on the sideline and be where he's at in the semifinal.
Gives
match.
those guys hope and a clear path to what it takes to be that guy who's placing for that Division I tournament,
Right.
and who's been through the process. And stuff's contagious. I think it's flowing throughout our team. Guys are supportive of, even guys who don't do that well. You went 0-2, but guys are still there supporting you at every match.
Yep.
They're hyped up for you. They want you to win. Everybody wants everybody to win on this team, which it hasn't always been that way. And it's exciting to see, worst guy in the lineup out on the mat. You got everybody there cheering. We want them to win. They
Yep.
get in on a good shot. Let's go.
Yep.
We're in there for it. So everybody gets coached up and just trying to stay positive and help everybody grow to be better wrestlers. So competition-wise, that's it for us on the men's side until we come back for the Citrus Invite in Florida. Great competition down there. I'm excited about that. That's going to be a good test to see who does the right things over break.
Yeah.
And I think with the very coachable team that we have, I think they're going to do well over the break. These guys want to win, and hopefully we do better than other teams and we show out.
Right.
And now for the women's side, we actually have a late addition to our schedule. We're going to have a home match this upcoming Friday, December 10th. Start time's 11 a.m.
Okay.
this is going to be a senior night event or senior day event for Katrina. This is her senior year, and honestly, not ideal for a senior night. You know, we would have loved to have it with students on campus and be able to get a little bit better crowd, but just with the way the season has worked with the women's team, we're trying to get enough events in, and we started late, so we're trying to piece the schedule together when teams have already had a schedule set for a while.
Right.
So we're kind of rolling with the punches. We're going to make it work, and we'll have our men's team there to support, trying to give her the best atmosphere we can to send her off for senior year last time wrestling at home. And then the next weekend, December 18th, we have the Emory and Henry Wasps Open. So excited for that. Get the girls some more mat time.
Yep.
Get preparation in, and then they'll have a nice break before they come back in January. We've got 2 weeks left of training before we go for winter break, and this is an exciting time for us to keep working on our team bond. Something that we've improved a lot on, I think, from the past. You know, our team just gets along very well together. We joke around a lot and poke fun at each other a lot, and it's just kind of great atmosphere. I love coming to practice. I love coming in here to do film with the team like we did this morning, and we picked a few matches that the whole team got to watch, and you know, we watched Braden. What is Braden doing? What's the best guy on the team doing wrong? You know, and we got to pick apart his film together. And you know, we have some team activities planned.
Excited to see who's good at ping pong and Madden. And
Yeah,
Call
we've
of
got
Duty.
ping pong tournaments coming up. We have Call of Duty tournaments coming up. Madden coming up. We did a movie night the other week. Watched The Replacements. Good old football comedy. Then we'll have another movie night next week. The guys will pick that one. The Replacements was my choice, so they'll pick the next one. And we came up with an idea last night. We're gonna say it on the podcast, so now we'll have to do it now.
Okay.
There's you know, you've probably seen trick shot videos with
Yeah.
ping pong balls. They'll try and set up like this long trail of knocking over dominoes, knocks over the ball, goes down this, up that. So we're gonna try and see if we can make a better trick shot video than we saw in the video, and see if we can have it go all the way through the facility. It'll be a fun evening for the guys to see how that works, and be a good team bonding experience. You know, kind of group up in different sections and make your section lead into the next one, kind of excited for that and see how it goes. We'll test the ingenuity, creativity, and see how.
Yeah, I'm over here trying to think, like, how would I even approach that?
Coaches will have a section. We'll see what we can do.
Okay.
Hopefully ours works well. But yeah, excited for the team bonding stuff, and you know, the women's team is included in that stuff as well. And just, I'm a big family here.
Yep.
Just enjoying our time over break, because some of our guys have some winter classes. Some of our ladies picked up a winter class here or there, but most of us don't have class. So we're just training and having some fun here.
Yep. Just trying to make the most of every moment.
Yep.
That's what I meant.
Yep. Trying to enjoy it. It goes back to that balance, right? We train really hard. We work really hard in the classroom, and now that we don't have the classroom in there, we can have a little bit more fun in our free time. And,
it's awesome for both parties too. You know, the guys get to see us as not just wrestling monsters who yell at them all the time.
Right.
We get to see them as not just guys who come in and work hard in the wrestling room and the weight room. We get to see them play video games and ping pong and ultimate frisbee. You know, we do a lot of team activities, and it's really awesome for us to get the opportunity to hang out with them, because we're here all day and we're just sitting in a wrestling room trying to figure out ways to get better at wrestling. So just having those couple moments throughout the season of hanging out with them and seeing the other side of them, it's just great.
Right.
Great chance to you know, everybody's good at something different too.
Yeah.
Like I've already heard, you know, John Ward apparently he's the Madden guy, right? He's the guy to beat in Madden.
Yeah, they were playing it in the hotel last weekend.
Yeah.
And, I mean, he was just going crazy on everybody. He just kept saying, "Oh, John, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win." He's like standing up and like going off on everybody. Yeah.
So you got like Levi, killer at Call of Duty. We got guys that are good at frisbee, guys that are good at ping pong, basketball. So it's just fun to see everybody get their chance to shine and do something different. So excited for that. We're gonna have some fun over winter break, and expect some Christmas cards as well.
We have Secret Santa coming up too.
Secret Santa, almost forgot.
Secret Santa last night before we go on break.
Yeah, we picked names out of a hat. That'll be fun to see what kind of gifts we get. We got a limit on the price you can spend, and try and get creative, and hopefully some guys have some funny gifts. And also heads up, look out for we're trying to finalize our raffle. We're going to do a holiday raffle over the coming weeks, the end of December, early January time frame, putting together some cool prizes and just kind of help support us here for the last run of the season. Make sure we can provide these guys with a great experience, keep treating them well.
Right.
But thank you, Tyreek. Appreciate the podcast. Appreciate the work that you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
It's
No
paying
problem.
off, so.
No problem. You got anything else, Costa? All right. 40 West.
Get it.